What is good, YouTube, man? Today I'm back with you guys, with the nation, for another video. And real quick, I have to give a shout out to all of you guys, man, because we are officially able to go through the monetization process. We have been over 1,000 subscribers for maybe a week or so now, and we just reached the 4,000 watch hours, I believe, last night. So I'm just now starting the monetization process. So that's up and started. But you already saw the title, you seen the thumbnail. We're not talking about monetization. We're talking about the Raiders, man. So in this today we got some kind of big news, kind of not really. So let's start off with the first topic is that looks like Richard Sherman won't be a Raider. Do I care? Not really. Do I wish that he was a Raider? Kind of. I mean, he's a really smart player, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, he's edging the end of his career, much like someone else that we're going to talk about. But in all honesty, I mean, if we think about it, we all wanted him because of his knowledge of the game, right? We all know, oh man, he's going to be able to teach these young guys all these things, right? But if we really take a step back or two, you have to think about it. This defense is not so hard, right? What really he would be bringing is his mentality and what it takes to win a Super Bowl. And that is huge, right? And that's why I wish we can still go out and get a Richard Sherman. But we're getting somebody who's a bit younger. Or we're not getting somebody, but it says that we're now in the market for somebody a bit younger, a bit more versatile, and he's kind of what we wanted Richard Sherman to do, right? So earlier today, we found out that Casey Hayward has been getting a good amount of interest from the Raiders, much like another ex-Charger, Melvin Ingram. Casey Hayward has played a lot of his career at corner and free safety, right? I believe that that's something that a lot of you guys wanted Richard Sherman to come in and do, and just come in, play free safety, and, you know, ball out there, because he might not be the quickest anymore, right? But Casey Hayward, much like somebody else who's a former Charger, like Desmond King, who signed with, I believe, I forget who Desmond King signed for, but Casey Hayward is older than Desmond King, and Desmond King only got $3.75 million, right? Casey Hayward didn't have the best year last year. He's still a very good player, in my opinion. I think he's only 31 years old. He's a free safety, and he's a corner, and versatility is great. You cannot go wrong with that. And we know that maybe for the price of Richard Sherman, maybe they're looking at it like maybe we can get a Melvin Ingram and a Casey Hayward for that price. Because if we look at it, I believe star quote-unquote pass rusher just got a contract done with the Browns for $10 million, right? And if we look at it, technically Melvin Ingram has had more production than Jadeveon Clowney in recent years, right? Because recent years, Jadeveon Clowney is just, you know, he's whatever, right? I mean, he's a good name, good talent, but if we really think about it, maybe we can package up the money, the $8 or $9 million that we would have had to pay maybe a guy like Richard Sherman, and maybe go out and get a Casey Hayward and a Melvin Ingram. I would love that, because Melvin Ingram, what he brings to that defensive line, shout out to somebody who said this in the comments of one of my live shows, and I think he hit the nail right on the head, man. He said that we need Melvin Ingram because he's going to bring to this defensive line what we all think that Richard Sherman is going to bring to that secondary room. And I really think that person that said that couldn't be any more right. I mean, you look at a guy who's been in a successful system. He's been with guys like Joey Bosa. He's been with guys, I think last year, Linval Joseph a bit. And if you just look at that, I mean, defensive lineman room throughout his entire career, he's been with some great names, right? And he's played against some great tackles in this division. And I think that person who commented that was exactly right. I mean, if Melvin Ingram is signed, a guy who came off an injury, much like Richard Sherman, a guy who's on the back end of his career, much like Richard Sherman, a guy who's, you know, had some success, not as high as Richard Sherman, but, you know, he's been to the playoffs and he's done big things, right? And Melvin Ingram that's exactly right. In my opinion, like he said, Melvin Ingram would bring to our defensive line room exactly what we think that Richard Sherman would have brought to our secondary room. But that's enough about Melvin Ingram, right? What does this mean about Richard Sherman? So I think now there's also been more reports that Richard Sherman The last two teams really are just the 49ers and the New York Jets. And it's mostly the Jets, most likely because they got the new defensive coordinator, who was the coordinator for the 49ers. But he could just decide he wants to stay in the Bay Area, doesn't have to move, doesn't have to spend the money to move and all that kind of stuff. Or who knows, maybe after the draft we could still be like a little dark horse team to get Richard Sherman. But at this point, the more and more I think about it, we can get a free safety and a corner and a very productive defensive lineman when he's out on the field for the price of one Richard Sherman. I would do it. I would do it 110%. I mean, Casey Hayward, not too long ago, was regarded as one of the probably top 15 corners in the NFL, and that's a very good position to be in because you have to think about it. There's about 2 or 3 starting corners on each team, and if you're top 15, you're very good at your position. And not only that, he's versatile. He can play free safety. He can play corner. He's good. I would love to bring in Casey Hayward, and for me to hear that we probably died a bit on the end, on Richard Sherman's end, and gained a little bit of interest on Casey Hayward, I like it. It shows that Gus Bradley's persistent. It shows that he knows what he wants, and, you know, maybe he knows what he needs, right? And could this mean that we might not go with a free safety in the first round if we get a Casey Hayward? We really don't know because the draft is only 5 days out. It's this Thursday. The draft is this Thursday, so we really don't know how things will go. I mean, I know I'm going to be at work while the draft is happening, and who knows what Gruden and Mayock decide to do, right? Do they give Gus Bradley that number 17? Do we trade back? Do we trade up? Do we give Tom Cable the reins at pick 17? We really don't know what we're going to do that day. We can mock drafts all we want. We can talk all we want, but at the end of the day, we really don't know what's going on in that room at all. If any of us could be a fly in that war room and that chalkboard that Mike Mayock probably has, I would pay a lot of money to be in that room just to see what we can have going on. But honestly, we all don't know what we have in mind. You know, we can think it could be a linebacker, a safety, a tackle, a defensive lineman, right? We really don't know. And to me, I'm kind of excited that we're still going out and having interest in certain guys. And at the end of the day, these guys probably have interest from other teams too. But what helps us out the most is 1, new stadium. 2, no state taxes. 3, we have Gus Bradley. So those things, I like our chances with any guy that we have interested in, right? That we have interest in. I really don't believe that we would have got Yannick without Gus Bradley, without this new stadium, without the no state taxes. And I really feel like Casey Hayward and Melvin Ingram are probably really trying to weigh their options right now. And if they believe that they trust in Gus Bradley, just like a lot of other players in this league have done, like Carl Joseph, he signed with us because he felt like Gus Bradley was a good guy. I mean, I would love it if we can put, let's say if Richard Sherman was going to get $9 million, if we can put 4.5 on Casey Hayward and 4.5 on Melvin Ingram, let's do it. Let's do it. I would do that right now. The problem is that where are we going to get that money, right? I feel like we would have to cut maybe Jeff Heath, which I don't think would happen after Mike Mayock spoke pretty highly of him in that press conference. Maybe we cut a Jalen Richard, get around $3.15 million. Maybe we cut a couple more depth guys in the practice squad. Maybe we finally give DC that extension because, you know, he kind of deserves it, right? If we give DC that extension, we can make close to $20 million. So if we had $20 million right now, we would be able to get a Casey Hayward and Melvin Ingram and probably a Richard Sherman and probably a Malik Hooker. So, yes, I mean, what does this mean for the Raiders? We honestly don't know. We could probably have interest in every player on the free agent market, and we really wouldn't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, Raider Nation. I really, really appreciate all your guys' support on these last videos and on the channel. You guys have made this channel grow rapidly in about like a month and a half. So I really appreciate all your guys' support. Like, comment, and subscribe if you can, Raider Nation. And I'm out. Peace.